Hey guys, welcome back to Buzzer to Buzzer. All right, guys. So the seventh week of the 2020 NFL season is among us, and guys, we got a bunch of great matchups. So without any further ado, let's get towards predicting our top 5 key matchups for this seventh week. All right, guys. So let's get towards the first game, which we will be predicting, that being between our hometown team, the Chicago Bears, against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, guys, the Rams are the 6-point favorites to win this match, despite the Bears being 5-1. Who knows after how many years? Guys, our thoughts on this game?
I think the Rams' record this year is inflated. Their 4 wins comes against the hobbled NFC East. The Bears have as many wins as that division combined. I know the Bears are not as good as their record shows, but I still think you can't have them as 6-point underdogs, regardless, even as the underdogs when the Rams have lost, 2 games outside the NFC East. I think you have to give the Bears the win here.
Yeah, I think they're down. It was -6 the spread, which is crazy to me. That's almost a touchdown in favor of the Rams. I think it's going to be a much closer game than that. I expect the Bears to play really well on defense. We saw what the 49ers did against the Rams last year, and that too a hobbled 49ers team. The Bears on defense are all healthy. Obviously, they have a great pass rush and great secondary. I think on defense, the Bears win this game.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Bears too on this one. The Rams against the 49ers last week, I had a lot higher expectations. And after seeing them play, 49ers offense, like the Bears offense, isn't amazing, but their defense is nowhere near as good as the Bears defense. And that's where the Bears will stop Jared Goff. And I don't think it's going to be a super high scoring game, but the Bears will edge out the Rams in this one.
Exactly. Harsh, it's something we discussed in our Week 6 predictions of the Rams' record being inflated. Considering the teams they have played, such as the Washington football team, it's for sure an inflated record. And I'm just surprised that the Bears are a 6-point underdog. I mean, considering the all-time record, the Rams are below 0.500 against the Bears. Sure, it's a new year, new team, whatever you want to say for that aspect. But I'm going to pick the Bears defense to win the game. The offense sure is going to be there. Our third down conversion is something which we got to improve upon. But our defense on that third down has been amazing. It's like 1 in 3 times we're able to 2 of 3 times we're able to stop our opponent from converting on that third down. And also, we are number 1 right now for least points allowed against the opposing teams. So I feel like taking all that into consideration, our defense is just going to overpower, and hopefully we'll get the dub. All right, guys. Now let's move on towards the second game, which we will be predicting, that being between the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Tennessee Titans. Now, guys, not only are the Titans the 1-point favorites here to win, but both teams are currently sitting at a perfect record of 5-0. Meaning one team is going to suffer their first loss in this game. Who do we got winning this game?
This is a very close matchup and a really hard call. But after looking at their matchups in the past 6 games, both teams, I think I'm going to have to go with the Steelers here. The Titans are a great team, but sometimes they can be inconsistent. They have the weapons, obviously, Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry. But if you look at their past games against teams that are not amazing, they kind of barely edged out those teams, like the Vikings or the Jaguars, teams like that. The Steelers, I mean, you saw against the Browns what they did. I thought the Browns had a good offense going for them, but the Steelers absolutely shut them down. So that being said, I think I'm going to have to go with the Steelers. Their offense and defense is just top notch right now in the league.
We saw last week with the Steelers, what was the Browns' biggest offensive attack was the run game, and they completely shut that down. Same thing with the Titans, right? Now, I know Derrick Henry's a different animal altogether, but I still think they're going to limit him. And when you limit Derrick Henry, you limit Ryan Tannehill in that offensive attack. I think that's going to be the key here for the Steelers, and that's why I think the Steelers will take this game.
I think it takes adjusting after losing a vocal leader like Devin Bush. Going into this week, I think the Steelers have to figure out who's going to lead that offense. He was the play caller. You got to bring another linebacker, whether it's T.J. Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, or someone. Someone's got to take a vocal role in that team. And with the Tennessee Titans, being the hot team that they are, a great OT win against Tennessee, beating an undefeated Buffalo Bills team at the time the week before. I think I'm going to have to go with the Tennessee Titans here.
It's a game where you got an amazing offense of the Titans versus an amazing defense of the Steelers. Now, guys, remember, this was the game which was supposed to be played in week 4. And we all remember the displeasure which the players voiced when the game was canceled due to the Titans' COVID-19 outbreak. I feel like this is going to go down to the wire, but the Titans are going to edge out with their offense. Although the Steelers, sure, they're proving to be a Super Bowl team, but I strongly feel like that the winner of this game, the Titans, I hope, are going to be Super Bowl contenders, and it's going to shape the rest of the postseason. All right, guys. Also, on towards our third key matchup, which we're predicting, that being between the Las Vegas Raiders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, guys, Tampa Bay coming off that win last week against the Packers. Are they looking to continue their momentum towards this game? Our thoughts on this game?
Both teams right now are very hot. They're on a hot streak, essentially. You see the Buccaneers, right? They blew out Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And same thing with the Raiders, right? They beat Patrick Mahomes pretty handedly. So I think, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. I just think Tampa Bay gets it done because of their defense. I think their defense is, intimidating and overpowering right now. I think they stop Josh Jacobs in that run game and limit Derek Carr.
Yeah, as Arun was saying, as good as the Chiefs' offense is, something that they don't have is great. Something that they don't have is a good defense. Unlike the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have a great defense, as he mentioned against the Packers. I'm definitely gonna have to go with the Buccaneers on this one. The Raiders are looking like a hot team. When they play good, they play insanely good. But same thing with the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. I just think that offense and defense is going to win the game.
Yeah, I think the flaws this year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers has always been mental miscues. Week 1, it was Tom Brady didn't have enough time with his new team. No OTAs, no preseason. You got to give him time to adjust to a new team. Then when they lost to the Bears, it was mental miscues, especially in that third quarter. The O-line didn't know what they were doing. Flags after flags. I think, defensively, they were a mess too. I think going into Green Bay, they knew they had to fix that. They got the job done, and I think they're going to look to build off of that in this win against the Oakland Raiders or Las Vegas Raiders.
Exactly. The main thing, which is going to be the main point for this game, is if the Bucs can limit Josh Jacobs and Derek Carr, then they got a ball game. I feel like the Bucs do have a chance with the victory in this game to shift the narrative in their favor. At the beginning of the season, guys, the Bucs came in being sort of doubted. It was could the squad, with Tom Brady obviously being much older, Rob Gronkowski coming off after being retired, and Mike Evans, could this whole system be in play? But definitely over the past couple of weeks, they've shown that they can ball. And I feel like that defense is what is going to allow them to win this game as well. All right, guys. Now let's move on towards our fourth game, which we're predicting, that being between the Seattle Seahawks against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, guys, the Seahawks are sitting upon a perfect 5-0 record, coming off some stellar games in these past 5 weeks. Now, guys, I think we can all agree that this is going to be a high-scoring matchup, and the Seahawks are favored to win. I'm going to get started with our Seahawks fan. Abi, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, obviously, I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I don't know. So, regardless of their defense, right, hopefully, I'm not sure if the call, if getting Jamal Adams is back for this game. Most likely not. But even without him, I still think that every single game, the offense carries the Seahawks. And as we've seen a couple of games with the Cardinals this year, actually, they're inconsistent with that loss to the Lions, and then with their they're just not a consistent team. However, I think that they have been picking it up recently. It's going to be a very high scoring game, in my opinion. Probably the most high scoring game this week with just 2 insane offenses. But that being said, I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks.
This is my upset of the week. I'm going to take the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks here. I just have a strange feeling. I think this is a trap game, right? Any division game you play, you see with the Raiders and Chiefs last week, any division game you could lose because they play each other so frequently. We saw last week, like Kyler Murray, as good as he is as a thrower, he might even be a better runner. I mean, last week he killed the Cowboys left and right, and we know how much the Cowboys defense stinks. The Seahawks defense might be even worse. So I think Kyler Murray's going to take advantage of that defense with his legs and his arm. And I think the Arizona defense just puts enough pressure on Russell Wilson to make him stumble a little bit, and the Cardinals come out on top.
Yeah, Kyler Murray definitely did slump the 2 games against the Lions and the Panthers. He was definitely struggling to figure it out. He threw interceptions and was making bad throws and reads. But then, these past few games against the Jets and the Cowboys, obviously not great teams, but he's shown signs of growth from then. You can see he's not taking as much time in the pocket. You can see he's more stable with his footwork. He's working on things to become better as a quarterback. But I want to look at the Cardinals defense, right? Two players that are playing out of their mind right now that are under the radar in the league are Buda Baker and Patrick Peterson. I think they need more respect. I think that Cardinals secondary needs more respect right now. And I think it's going to pose a tough time for a very potent Seahawks offense.
All right, guys, you already know where I'm going. A B with the man, the myth, the legend, Russell Wilson, and of course, the boy DK Metcalf. You cannot doubt them. The Seahawks are about to go 6-0 this week. Am I saying that this is going to be a blowout game? No. But is it going to be a close game which goes till the end? Of course. Kyler Murray, a talented quarterback. I feel like him and Russell Wilson will put on quite the spectacle and quite the show and the duel between themselves. But at the end of the day, I just feel like that the Seahawks offense is just going to be too much overpowering. I also feel like that if the Seahawks defense, although it's not like what it was a couple of years ago, if they can pressure Kyler Murray and make sure that he stays in the pocket, they got a real chance of winning this game. And also remember, the Seahawks are coming off of a bye week. The Cardinals, meanwhile, are playing a shorter week, meaning they're probably more tired. At the end of the day, just got to believe in Russ, and the Seahawks will win this game. All right, guys, now let's get towards our fifth and final game, which we are predicting, that being between the San Francisco 49ers against the New England Patriots. Now, guys, the Patriots are currently 2-3, but are still favored to win this game. And also, we do know that Cam Newton is questionable with the COVID-19 outbreak, still questionable if he will be playing. But Jimmy G is back 49ers, and he showed us what he can do last week. Our thoughts on this game?
I think 49ers take this game actually pretty easily. We saw what Jimmy G did against the Rams defense last week, right? Rams defense is a decent to top tier defense for sure, and they have a very good offense. Cam Newton did not look good. Maybe something with COVID, some problems are affecting him for sure still, because he did not look like Cam Newton last week. And this Patriots offense is scoring, 15 points a game without Cam Newton. So I think the 49ers offense, especially with those receivers getting healthy again, I think they win this one.
I'm going to have to go with the New England Patriots here. I think, Cam Newton has an off week coming back from the COVID injury. I don't know how you properly describe that. But moving past that, I think Bill Belichick will always give his team the best game plan. The 49ers, being hobbled as they are, they have a lot of weaknesses on offense and on defense. If Bill Belichick is known for anything, is creating the best game plan possible. I think Cam Newton just has to perform at a level slightly above how he played last week. And I think that's reasonable to expect from him. Coming off, his COVID time off and, coming back after a week of break for that long, it's expected for a player to have a bad game. I think he grows from that game against Denver and wins it against the 49ers.
I'm also going to have to go with the Patriots on this one. I just think that the Patriots have a better secondary and a better defense than the Rams, obviously. And the 49ers, Jimmy G always has his off games, is very inconsistent. So, just because he has one good game, I can't say that he's going to have the same level of playing style that he did the last game. But if Cam is hurt and he doesn't play in this game, I can obviously see the possibility of the 49ers win.
Yeah, exactly. Abi, I'm going to have to also go with the Patriots right here. And it's mainly because of one reason. Bill Belichick, mastermind, we all know. Jimmy G played as recently as in 2017, only 2.5, 3 years ago with the Patriots. I feel like a lot of his game is known to Bill Belichick. Is it all though? No, for sure. But I feel like that Jimmy Garoppolo has proven to be very inconsistent over these past 6 games. And although sure they're coming off of a good win last week against the Rams, I just feel like that their offensive line combined with Cam Newton hopefully being back in his primetime shape like he showed us at the beginning of the season can allow the Patriots to win. All right, guys. Boy, is it going to be a great 7th week of the 2020 NFL season. All of us, as you probably noticed, had a lot of deferring picks. So it'll be quite interesting to see who has the best record at the end of this week. As always, guys, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe. We are so close to 500, making that goal before the end of October. Let's hit 500. As always, guys, comment down below your main thoughts and predictions for the 5 games we predicted. Take care, guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See you guys.